all of your favorite recipes. Simply Food.
You should know by now that you're in for a treat.
Simply Food.
There's no other channel where you'd rather be.
Simply Food. Seafood, pasta, cakes, and pies. Sing and laugh and even cry. Like and share and hit subscribe. Simply Food by TY.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Simply Food by TY, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make these bomb, delicious, and simple garlic and herb mashed potatoes, okay? Let's jump right on into it because this is not going to take us long at all. Now, for this particular recipe, I'm going to be using some russet potatoes. You can also use Yukon Gold. That's completely fine. If you do decide to use red skin potatoes, of course, you totally can. Just make sure that you are thoroughly cleaning, the skin of those potatoes off, because typically when you use red skin potatoes, you typically leave the skin on. Because I'm using russet potatoes, of course, we're not going to be doing that. We're going to make sure that we peel these potatoes completely clean. Now, I would say that I have roughly about, about 6.5 to 7 pounds worth of potatoes, which I would say is anywhere between 8 or 9 large potatoes here. This particular recipe, I would definitely say would feed a family anywhere between 4 to 5 people. So if anybody wants to, of course, you can double, if not triple this, you know, if you're going to be doing it for the holiday. Now, I like to peel mine because, once again, you know, when you're making mashed potatoes, you want to make sure that you're infusing as much flavor into these potatoes as much as possible early on. So I like to go ahead and skin mine, put them in the water, and I also chop them up in chunks just to kind of speed up that process of, you know, getting them nice and cooked. Now, of course, even though I washed them prior to taking the skin off, and even though I had them soaking in water, you still want to make sure that you're really going over these, because pretty much now, once you transfer these to the pot, you know, you're going to be consuming everything that's in that pot, you know, long story short. So you just want to make sure that these potatoes are thoroughly cleaned. Now, once again, like I said, if you guys want, you can double or triple this if you're going to be doing it for the holiday. That is completely fine. What I will say is, for this particular recipe, because I'm making a smaller amount, there are, of course, going to be some adjustments that you will need to make if you are going to be making a larger batch. And one thing in particular is how much water you put in the pot. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys you need to put 6 cups of water or 5 cups of water, whatever the case is. What I will simply say is this: no matter how many potatoes you cook, whether you're going to make a large batch or if you're going to make a smaller batch of the mashed potatoes, just simply make sure that you have the water, I would say roughly about 1 inch or 2 above the potatoes, because we're going to be putting in some better than bouillon chicken broth in there in a few moments. And you don't want your potatoes to be swimming around in an unnecessary amount of water, because we really want to make sure that the liquid in here is nice and concentrated with the flavor, okay? So just keep that in mind. So, of course, you know, like I said, these are going to be garlic and herb mashed potatoes. So I have 5 large garlic cloves. Now, trust me, this is more than enough. I definitely would not use more than 5. And I would also highly suggest that you do use fresh garlic for this particular recipe. Now, as you can see, I'm not even chopping these. I'm just simply pressing them down just to open them up so that that flavor can immediately start to penetrate the water. Once you get all of those nice and pressed down, you can go ahead and throw those directly into the water. You don't have to do anything else with those at all. Now, as I said, I'm going to be using the Better Than Bouillon chicken base because I just think it is so much better than chicken stock. And by doing this, it's going to add an immense amount of flavor to your mashed potatoes. I'm using a nice rounded tablespoon worth, and just go ahead and just put that right into the water. That alone, and with the garlic, is going to add so much flavor. And also, because you're doing this, you know, typically you guys hear me say you better salt your water, you got to salt your water. You don't have to do that with this, because that Better Than Bouillon has a lot of sodium in it. While that's boiling for about 15 minutes, go ahead and have your cream cheese and your butter out. That's 4 ounces of cream cheese. That's 1 stick of Kerrygold butter. And what you have here is a 1/2 tablespoon of kosher salt. And then I use 1 teaspoon of the Italian herb seasoning. I use the grinder kind. Like I said, I just grinded up about 1 teaspoon worth. You're going to be using some sour cream and some half and half and all of that a little bit later on, but I just wanted to let you guys know to at least have your butter and your cream cheese out to get to room temperature. Once you've cooked your potatoes off for, I would say, about anywhere between 13 to 14 minutes, they should be good to go. Check them with the fork. Go ahead and dump them out. Do not rinse them off. At this point, you guys, you want to make sure you turn your burner off and leave it off. I'll tell you guys when you want to turn it back on. So for right now, while the burner is off, you're going to put your butter in. You're going to put your 4 ounces of your cream cheese, and we're going to put in, I think that was 1/3 of a cup of your sour cream, as well as we're going to add in the seasoning. Now, of course, if you want to mind how much salt you're putting in the recipe, of course, you can adjust the salt. That's completely fine, because you can always add in salt a little bit later on down the line. Of course, I'm going to add in some fresh black pepper. Now, this is a preference. Everybody likes their mashed potatoes prepared differently. I personally, I don't like my mashed potatoes completely like smoothed out like cream of wheat. I like a little bit of texture to mine. And although in the end, it might seem as if mine are completely smoothed out, there's still nice little tiny chunks of potatoes. And that's the way that I love mine. So I just gave that a rough mash because we're also about to start adding in the liquids. Now for this particular recipe, I'm going to be adding in some half and half and whole milk. So I'm going to add in 3/4 of a cup of half and half, and then just a half a cup of whole milk. And then just go ahead and give this a mix. Now this is going to seem as if this is really runny and really loose, but trust me now that we've added in our liquids, now you can go ahead and turn your stove top back on, but only to low. You do not need to have this simmering or nothing like that. These mashed potatoes are pretty much done. The residual heat is going to finish it off for you. And as you can see, on a low temperature for about 5 minutes, and you guys just get it to as smooth as you want, the texture of these mashed potatoes turn out absolutely beautiful every single time. The flavor is out of control. You've mashed in that garlic, you had the chicken base, those Italian herbs, that Kerrygold butter, the sour cream, the cream cheese. I'm telling you, these mashed potatoes are like none other. You want to definitely check it for salt and pepper to see if you would like to add any more. Top it with some butter and parsley, and you have just made yourself some garlic and herb mashed potatoes. Look, if you are new to my channel, welcome to Simply Food by TY. If you're one of my returning subscribers, well, y'all babies know I love y'all so very much, and I will talk to y'all soon. Take care. Bye.
Slaying in the kitchen.
Simply Food by TY.
We hope that you enjoyed it.
Simply Food by TY. If you haven't took the time, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Simply Food.